Morning, 6:30 a.m. on what I think might be day 17, but I may stand to be corrected on that one. We were camped just here last night. Wasn't too bad. We're about 8,000 feet. I was expecting it to be a lot colder than it was. I'm not saying it wasn't cold because it was a little chilly, but I thought it was going to be worse. One thing that did happen, unfortunately, Centipede found a mouse in a tent, making a guest appearance about 3 o'clock this morning, and it's eaten through the little bag that she uses to cook her meals in, or prepare her meals in, which is highly annoying. Not too pleased about that. And apparently there were some strange noises on the hill at this side, which I didn't hear because I was either asleep or had my headphones in. But this morning, we're also quite cold. And we are going to be heading up this last bit of the canyon. Morning, Centipede. We're going to about a mile and a half maybe of this horrible walking left, and then I think we're about done, hopefully, he says, full of hope. And actually looking forward to getting into that sunlight as well, because I at the moment have all of my insulation layers on. So I'll be setting off shortly, stop to get some water at the campsite, and then that'll be it for about 16 miles until the next water source. So there's Mission Springs Trail Camp down there. Seems to be a lot of people filtering out of that this morning. Must have been probably 15, 20 people in there, I think. With there being a long water carry now, and that being the last water source marked on the app for a while, that's obviously why people have been staying there. And then everyone's setting out on this 16-mile section now. Just like us. We had a little head start this morning to catch up. We've just got filled up ourselves about 3 litres, and we shall be heading off in a few seconds. So ever since that first day on the trail, when I felt really ill, realised I hadn't drunk enough, everybody was suggesting electrolytes on the comments on the videos on YouTube. I did have some with me, I literally wasn't drinking enough, but I've worked through the 2 packs that I had. I bought some new ones in Idlewild. Just started using them in the last day. Different brand, the Gatorade ones, and the Glacier cherry flavour. Rather than being a tablet, it's just like a powder that you tip into your drink, and I absolutely love them. Tastes really, really nice. So I've got about 6 of those left to use, I think. Definitely going to be looking for some more of them. And I was just saying to Centipede this morning, I'm going to have to change up some of my food game in Big Bear Lake and try some different things to eat, because I just seem to be Like at the moment, I just seem to be going through food like crazy. Especially not so much on an evening at camp, but throughout the day, I just seem to be eating loads. Like Cliff bars and Nature Valley bars and bags of nuts and things like that. So try a few different things when I get to Big Bear Lake. Keep trying different stuff until I find something that I enjoy and that works. That I think is Gorgonia or something like that anyway. The snow-capped peak in the distance. Should be coming up to quite a nice open view just in front of us here. Been up and down, it's been nice and gradual this morning. Nothing too tricky at all. About 9 o'clock at the moment. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. I love these clear days where you can see for miles. With the exception of those couple of days where I was in kind of that misty fog bank up near Mike's place. The weather's been really, really good to me. Or the visibility at least anyway. So that's where we've just come from this morning, probably done about 5 miles-ish, roundabouts. It's about 9:45, I think, and we're at about just under mile 245, 244.7 or something like that. And we're back to the view we had a few days ago, just a different angle on it. So you should be able to see San Jacinto in the background there with the snow on the top of it. And then looking down into the bottom where Palm Springs is there into the desert floor again. It's a pretty nice view actually. Nice place to stop for a bite to eat. It's actually been really nice walking this morning as well. Really, really nice. Coming back through some pine forests. Kind of gentle ups most of the way. Nothing too strenuous. So we're already a good way towards the next water source. And it's not even 10 o'clock yet. I'm quite pleased today. So we just had our little break. Centipede's got us a hotel booked for Big Bear Lake. Midweek pricing, which is always a bonus, a little bit cheaper. There's another hiker we just bumped into called Stay Gold. He's actually a trail angel as well in Tehachapi. It's quite funny. He said he's bumped into a few people on trail already that have actually got packages at his house, which I thought was quite funny. But I just had to show you this view again because there was a few trees in the way at the top where we had our break. But this is just a really nice, clear, open view of the landscape again. It's just huge. You can't comprehend it at all. And then everyone that's walked past as well, we're having our break, was like, "Is that San Jacinto again? I'm sick of seeing it." I'm not sick of seeing it. I think it's awesome, and I think it's pretty cool that I'm stood here now looking at where I was stood literally pretty much about a week ago, stood taking photographs looking over here. So it's quite funny in that respect to me. So we've got 11.4-ish miles to do. We're hoping to try and get to somewhere called the Arrastre Trail Camp. That is our goal there, or possibly even a little bit further if that's possible, because that's where the water sources start up again. We've made decent time this morning and the walking's been pretty easy. Looks like we've actually got a lot more descent today than we do at ascent as well, which be a nice little change. I'm really enjoying this little hike as well. This little path on the side of the mountain with this view to one side is superb. Massive change from the last couple of days just stuck in that wash and hiking through there. Look at it. I love the blue skies here as well. The really saturated blue skies. I kind of almost wish I had a polarizing lens on this camera. I'll have to have a look in my bag and see if I brought one with me, because that would just, polarizers really do make the sky pop when it's a nice blue like that. Give you some really sharp contrast between the white clouds and the blue sky. But just this little section we're on at the moment, there's kind of like a little bubble of hikers that we kind of keep bumping into, overtaking and then being overtaken by, and they all seem really nice as well. So it's nice hiking at the moment. Nice hiking. Thoroughly enjoying the experience so far today. This is the Coon Creek Cabin at mile 246.5. We've only come up here because on the app it says that there are trash cans, and everyone at the moment is carrying quite a good amount of trash with them. But all we've found so far are some bare boxes outside. But you can see you can reserve this to stay in it. Whether you'd want to or not, I'm not entirely certain. It's not looking in the best of repairs. This one looks like it's had a new concrete floor put in kind of recently. That would probably be the one I'd choose to stay in. This one is looking a little sorrier. You won't be able to make it out. Sorry, the light's really bad with the ND filter on. But I would guess there'd be a lot of mice in there and a lot of chance of contracting hantavirus. But there is a pit toilet here, so that's one good thing if you need a pit toilet. See, it's attracted quite a few people already. Good afternoon, everybody. First things first, I want to give a massive thank you and shout out to Charlie and to Chris. Thank you guys very much. You're both very kind and your generosity is very much appreciated. Thank you. We are at about mile 248.5. Roughly 8,700 feet elevation. We're dropping again now, and then we've got a smallish climb to do, and then I believe it's mostly downhill to Big Bear Lake. We've just stopped for lunch. It's about 1:15 p.m. We're doing quite well today, considering we had such a bad couple of days with the walking through the wash, the creek. I keep calling it the wash, sorry, the creek. It's really warm in the sun, but when you get into the little bit of breeze in the shade, it's actually like icy almost. Oh, and here we have a problem. Trail problems. She's chosen the hardest way around. I'm going to choose the easiest way around. But we were just saying at lunchtime, I've run out of gas now, so I can't cook anything or boil any water now. So I need to buy a bigger canister next time, definitely. And I'm quite low on food. If it was going to be tomorrow evening, when we were getting into Big Bear Lake, I would be getting in there extremely hungry. As it stands, we're kind of hoping we're going to get there around lunchtime tomorrow. We're going to try and push as much as we can today, with it being a slightly easier day of walking. See where we can get to. The junction to get off where we hitch into Big Bear Lake is mile 266.1, I think. So the closer we can get to that, the better. But today has been really, really nice so far. And it's not just been the actual kind of really big views either. For me, it's just been the scenery as well. I've really enjoyed it. Quite a bit of pine forest again. Beautiful smell in the air. The pine needles and a bit of sage as well. Very enjoyable. Well, that's that. Mile 250 just come up. Can't see a marker anywhere, so we might make one. Don't know. We'll see what Centipede says. Do you want to make a marker for 250 miles? Yes, we're making a marker for 250 miles. So I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is the spot that used to be a zoo. And they used to keep animals here that were used in like movies in Hollywood. Now, if it is the same spot, it just looks like somebody's small holding with quite a few dogs. I'm sure there was somewhere on the trail that there used to be like lions and stuff. And you walked right by it like we're walking past this now. I can't see it being anything else. Yeah, it's got to be. I'll have to look at it on the internet or on the app, see what it says. I can't see any reason to have these huge fences otherwise. Must have closed down and moved elsewhere. One thing I was going to say, and I keep forgetting, there has been a few questions asked by different people. I've tried to answer them, but if you've got any specific questions about like any of the gear that I'm using, any of the silly decisions I've made, any of the things I wish I'd done differently, any questions at all, just drop them in the comments. And I think what I'll try and do is I'll try and make a note of them all, and I'll try at some point and do like a little Q&A video. Obviously, if no one puts any questions in, I won't do that. But just in case anyone has got any questions, a few people have been asking different things about the tech that I'm using, the camera and the microphone and how I'm uploading and things like that. I did get your email, the person that sent that. I'm sorry I can't remember your name. I do still have your email and I will reply to it, probably in Big Bear Lake. So I'm really sorry I've not responded just as of yet. But yeah, any questions, pop them in the comments. I'll make a note of them. And then hopefully, after a good few weeks has passed, and I get to somewhere where I can do a Q&A video, that will be on the cards. And once again, thank you to everyone who's watching and liking and commenting and subscribing. It's so cool to know that people are enjoying the trail from home. Whether you're thinking about doing it in the future, whether you've done it in the past or whether you just like seeing some of the really awesome scenery. It's a pleasure to be out here filming it for you. So a lot of the scenery for the last probably 5-10 miles today has been like this on the right hand side. Usually been having that on one side of you and then like a big open view on the other side. Occasionally you come to one of these dirt roads that are marked on the map, on the app, and you cross over that. Sometimes there's a little bit of water cached by somebody. There was at the last one. Doesn't look to be any here. We've only got about 3 miles to go until the trail camp with the water source, and most of it's going to be down as well. So Amelia actually, instead of taking water from the last water cache that was empty, or almost empty, she actually poured a litre into it because she didn't need it, which I think was very nice of her. So this is the kind of awesome thing that you really don't expect. We are about a mile away from the Arastra trail camp, and we're kind of walking down this trail, and then just as we're going past this tree, we see a cooler strapped to one side of it, and it's got the PCT Yum box on top, and inside there's a load of goodies for hikers. So with me being very short of food, that was absolutely golden to find. Thank you so much. Well, there we go, we made it to Arastra Trail Camp. The water source here is actually either not working or not turned on. So we've got to go a little bit further, not much further, to get some water. But as you can see, there's people setting up tents all over. A few people we've seen before and a few people we haven't. Tents all the way down there as well. So it is just a trail camp, a few picnic benches. I think it was built by a scout troop, if I remember correctly. There's Troop 49, I think it is, etched into the concrete down here. But we shall be moving on probably a maximum of 3 miles tonight, hopefully. Get a camp spot and some water, and easy into town tomorrow. What do you say about that?
Sounds good.
So it's 6:15. We're about at mile 257. Walking through this really nice pine forest. There's some huge trees down here, really tall. As you can see, it's a little bit darker in the forest now at the moment. It's probably the latest we've hiked for a while, actually. We've got filled up with water. There was a few water sources after the campsite, and we are making our way towards a campsite that is at the moment about 2 miles in front of us. It's just a tent site, basically. It's just on far out as a tent site. That's what we're aiming for. If we get there, great. If we don't, it's not going to be the end of the world. In this area that we're walking through now, there's loads of little flat spots and tent sites that have been used before in the trees off to the side. So we're not going to be without somewhere to sleep. It's just, we both want to get to town tomorrow, and the more miles we do today, the less we have to do tomorrow morning. Just trying to make it a bit easier on ourselves. Look at the size of this thing here, this great old tree stump. All the pine cones on the floor as well. I like seeing them, like Christmas. But yeah, there you go. Look, that site's not even marked on the app at all, and it's nice and big. You could fit 3 or 4 tents in there very easily. And we've walked past probably about 3 of those sites already. I've got to admit, this is probably one of my favourite times of the day to hike on this trail. Everyone's kind of stopped hiking at the moment, you know, everyone's kind of stopping about 4 or 5 p.m. The trail's a lot quieter. There's some nice light in the sky. The temperature's a little bit better. It's just, for me, a nice time of the day to hike. Hopefully, we'll make it to the little tent site we've got our eye on. So we had about a 350-foot climb up to the tent site we were looking at. We're just on the final little bit of it now, probably the last 75 feet or so. I think it should put us out onto a little bit of a plateau, hopefully. I'm kind of hoping for at least a little bit of a view from the tent site. It would be really nice. See what it's got in store for us when we get there. About 0.3 miles away from it. Well, we have just reached the tent site, and just look at this. Just the sun coming through the trees. We've still got a bit of sunlight in the sky as well, which is nice. I think the tent site is somewhere in this area. Just need to find it. That is a pretty nice view. Good evening. Sorry if it looks a bit creepy. It's probably going on for 9 p.m. We found the campsite. It's quite nice. There was one person here already. So we've put the tents up, had some food. When I say some food, I mean I've pretty much eaten almost everything I have left, apart from 4 ramen noodles and a couple of cereal bars for tomorrow. It's not too cold at the moment. It's not bad. I've got the tent door open behind me to let some draft in. But yeah, really pleased with today. Left us only about 6.8 miles to do tomorrow to the highway, where we can hitch a ride, hopefully, into Big Bear Lake and get some real food, which is what I'm really looking forward to, and a bath or a shower. Don't care which one. So yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. And tomorrow will no doubt be a pretty short video, but I'll try and put something together. All right. Don't know what the heck was going on with the camera there. Mind of its own. Anyway, good night, guys. See you on the next one.